Hello students, welcome to LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Here myself, Mr. Jaswal Kishan from Civil Engineering Department, and we are learning all about earthquake engineering. So let's start our today's session. So in today's session, we will be covering up some more theories related to design philosophy. So let's see. So today we are taking effect of irregularities on performance of RC building. So what are RC building? So RC building is nothing but reinforced concrete building. Now during the earthquake, the building means RC building performance basically depends on its size, its shapes, and its distribution of weight. So if there is an irregularity in such configurations, then there are likely chances to get more damages on our structure. We have seen in that floating type of column. So in floating column there is a discontinuity. If there is an irregular mass distribution, so there is an irregularity. So such kind of irregularity should be avoided during the planning stage of the structure design. Also, the inertia force transfer means if our building is simple in plan and having regular kind of structure, having equal columns at one side to the opposite side and equal beams on the entire plan area, then there is a smooth way of transfer of load or say inertia forces throughout the members to the soil. And if it is not, then there will be irregularities and causes of damages. So here we are taking two types of irregularities, which is vertical irregularities and second one is the horizontal irregularities. Let's check it one by one what we have. Vertical irregularities. Now in that, irregularities in strength and stiffness. Now here first of all you can see that a building standing on number of columns. So this is a kind of a soft story kind of building, or say there is a weak story at the bottom, because look at the top the three floors are act as a single unit, because look here there is no infill walls between the columns, but here there are infill walls between the column. So the above column will act as a single unit, or say will act as a stiff member during the earthquake. While at the bottom columns, which are at ground level, they will have a free movement because there is a no infill wall to restrict their movement. So there will be a free movement of that such kind of column. So that columns will bear the entire load which is above upon it. So huge mass will be floating on that particular column. So if that columns are not made strong enough, so they are likely to get damaged during the earthquake. You can look here the Burj earthquake figure or say photo. Look here at the base, the columns get damages due to the heavy mass at the top, and that columns were not strong enough to resist the forces. Also, this can be understood by the inverted pendulum. Whenever the mass at the top are allowed to have a free moment, so oscillation will take place, then there is a strong forces occurring in such string or say in such member. So if they are not strong enough, then they are likely to damage. Here you can look that the stiff upper story and soft ground story. So as I said, this story, such kind of story is considered as a soft story because at the bottom there is no infill wall and the top portions are having an infill walls. So stiff upper story, small displacement takes place. As I said, they are stiff enough, so will have less number of or say less amount of displacement. While at the bottom they are free to move, so there will be a huge or say large displacement will occur. Now any story for which the lateral stiffness is less than the 70% of that the story immediately above or less than the 80% of the average stiffness of the above three story is considered as a soft story. So what is the basic definition of soft story? That the above or say adjacent story above, if having less than 70% stiffness at the bottom one, then they can consider as a soft story. Also the average of top three, the 80%, if it is less than 80% stiffness, then it is considered as a soft story. Next is floating column. So this we have already studied in the previous sessions. And what are floating column? The column which are not continued to the end or say till the foundation. So such columns are considered as a floating column. Look here, you can see that this column directly rests on this floor and not or say discontinued from the base level, and such columns are considered as a floating column. Even the similar case I have shown over here. So such columns are considered as a floating column. So at the planning stage, whenever the structural engineer are deciding its plan of the column and beam placement, so at that time only we have to keep in mind that column should go through and through towards the foundation level, so it can transmit the load easily, or say it can have a good smooth movement of the load transfer mechanism. Now, in the such kind of floating column, there will be a huge displacement at this level, and it will cause a major disaster, or say major destruction will cause at these junctions. The column that hang or float on the beams at an intermediate story and do not go all the way to the foundation is called floating column, as I said. The third is mass irregularities. So what is mass irregularities? Now, if we are having the multi-story building and some of the floors are considering having a major of mass. So I'm not saying that here more number of people are living. No, I'm not saying that. If we consider as a industrial multi-story building or say storage building, so at this floor, the special equipments or say heavy equipments are loaded over such floors. So during earthquake, this will cause an irregular movement of the floor as compared to the above or say below floors. So such kind of irregularities should be avoided for better performance during the earthquake. Now, mass irregularities is considered to exist when the effective mass of the story is more than 200% of the effective mass of the adjacent story. Means this story is 200% more having more mass as compared to the adjacent story, then they are having mass irregularities. So such should be avoided. Next is vertical geometric irregularity. So here you look, this kind of building should be avoided because they are not likely to perform good during the earthquake. Because this is a kind of a water tank kind of structure where heavy mass is at the top and it is loaded at the bottom. So this kind of irregularities should be avoided. Similarly, in such case, there also this column will affect more as compared to this because they will act as a stiffer column or say stiff column as compared to the columns which are present over here. Also, such kind of structure should be avoided. I'm not saying that we can't design such kind of building, but during such kind of building, we should make sure that whatever the earthquake or say magnitude of the waves came, it should not be affected during that. We can prepare such kind of building, but probably or say recommendations are that this should be avoided. Also, such kind of buildings where look, this is floating on some, there is no vertical irregularities between this two story over this story and this story. I think this is a floating kind of floors. Such should be avoided. Now, what is basically vertical geometry? So, whenever this ratio or say when a horizontal dimension of the building in any story is more than 1.5 times that in the adjacent story, then the building is said to be having a vertical irregularities where L2 should be greater than 1.5 L1. Means wherever this L2, where is this L2? This L2 is 1.5 times the L1, then such kind of structure is considered as vertical irregularities. Even such, there is a similar case over here. Now this kind of case I have also shown in the previous sessions of earthquake engineering. So this kind of all vertical irregularities must be avoided. Next is horizontal irregularities. Now the building which are asymmetrical in plan shapes. So if it is of C shape or say L shape or say plus shape. So such kind of structure should be avoided because they will not perform good during the earthquake. So this is an just an pictorial representation where you can see there is an irregularities of plan. Here also it's an L-shaped building, so it is an asymmetrical plan. As we have already discussed about the re-entrant corners, so what are re-entrant corners? So re-entrant corners, if there is a T shape of building in plan, so such joints are considered as re-entrant corners. Similarly, this T shape, this E shape building, so such can be divided. Here the options are over given that this horizontal and vertical should be divided. This 3 point should be divided. So such kind of alternate arrangements we can provide. Now these are of L, T plus shape and U shape or the C shape of building should be avoided. So these are irregular in plan also and also having a re-entrant corners. Also such kind of huge cutout. So it's an big irregularities because this floor or say this over here, this blue are just an facade, don't focus on it because in the beside to it there is an horizontal floors. So here there is a continuity of floors or says continuity of slabs, but at over here there is a discontinuous slab. So such kind of building will likely to not perform as a rigid diaphragm action as we have learned in the previous session. So such kind of cutout should also be avoided. Non-parallel system, look, this is an unparalleled system of beams and columns because here discontinuity of beams also there and there is no similarities and distance to distance columns are provided. Means the columns is not going in a specific distance. So such kind of unparalleled or say non-parallel system should be avoided by the engineers. So next theory is short column effect. It's a very interesting theory and very important. That what are short column effect? The columns in a similar floor are of having different heights, that the shorter one will be affected more or say will be broken up earlier during the earthquake. So such kind of columns are considered as short column. So look, this is a picture over here. This column and this column is of a same length or say same height, but over here. So here this is the only free space available for such kind of column to having the moment during the earthquake. Now these are having free space to have a freely sway moment, but this will be not freely sway because of the infill walls. So such column will affect during the earthquake and will be the earlier one which can be broken up during the earthquake, and such effect is known as short column effect. So here you look, there is a window space. So at the bottom there is a brick wall and at the top they have provided the space for the windows. But during the earthquake, this one are less stiffer as compared to the bottom one because bottom one are having the walls besides or say side by side. Such will have the major effect during the earthquake. Similarly to this one. So look here, the wall is purely filled from bottom to the top. So such columns are of stiffer as compared to this one because the unreinforced brick masonry is provided. So this will affect as a rigid member or say as a stiff member, but this member will be ductile. Now here you look in this two-story, all the columns are same and will perform similarly during the but the third story, as you are looking, that here there is no infill, here there is no infill wall, but at this two portion there is a infill wall has been provided at a partial height. So during earthquake, this will act as a short column because half of the portion is being filled up with the brick. So what will happen during earthquake? The sway of this or say displacement of such column will be different from this column, and this column will be likely to take more forces and it will affect earlier. Now here it is, as it is given, that is the opening, there is a short column up to partial height, there is a wall, there is a regular column, the portion of column restrained from the motion. So this much portion, wherever the till the infill wall is present, that portion of the column is restricted by the wall to have a movement, and the above one will be moved, but it will be having more stiffness as compared to this one. So they are likely to occur. So such cases should be avoided. Also, during the construction over the slopy area or say hilly region, this will be act as a short column as compared to the other one. So should we avoid it or say should we don't construct this kind of structure? So there is an alternative system arrangement given over here. Look. So as we know that this section will be as a stiff and the remaining one. So we are stiffening the another one by proper bracing system. So this entire unit will be act as a single because we have also stiffened up the another column as compared to this one. So the only this above portion has been left without bracing and the bottom one are stiffened up. So the entire system will act as a single unit and perform good during the earthquake. Such cases where there is large cutout or say large opening, then the column will likely to affect during the earthquake. Also, look, whenever we are providing this say stair, so at the middle height of the column we are likely to provide landing, and at there will be some portion of slab or say of a kind of a beam. So such column will be affected during the earthquake. The similar case is shown over here. So these beams are of the landing beams and these are floor beams or say floor slabs. So this will act, this much portion will act as a short column. So this is also a short column because it's a continuity of column over here, but here it has been disturbed due to this landing beam. So such cases should be avoided. Look, how it will be performed during earthquake, so it will be having such kind of effect. So it will likely to collapse or say more damages during the also such kind of irregular floor area which affect the building. The poor behavior of the short column is due to the fact that in an earthquake, a tall column and short column of same cross section. So the columns are of having the same cross section. Earthquake waves are similar. Both will likely to sway, and during that, what will happen? At the moment of horizontally by same amount delta. However, the short column is stiffer as compared to the tall column because if it is a long, then it is a less stiffer as compared to the another one, and this will act as a more stiff, and this will act as a ductile material or say ductile member. So it attracts larger earthquake force. Which one? This shorter column. So stiffness of the column means resistance to deformation, and the larger is the stiffness, the larger the force acquired to deform it. If a short column is not adequately designed for such a large forces, it can suffer significant damage during an earthquake. This behavior is called as a short column behavior. So what it says that they are stiffer, okay, and during the earthquake, the more stiffer member will likely to take or say likely to attract more forces towards it. And if it is not designed to take such amount of force, then it will likely to collapse or it will likely to deform during the earthquake. So this kind of columns should be avoided. Such kind of failure, say this kind of X failure can be had during the short column effect. The damage in this short column is often in a form of egg shape because it will likely to have such kind of space, and then there will be a marks of cracks will be in an egg shape. This type of damage of the column is due to the shear failure. These are also known as shear failure. So what are the points of short column effect? So short column effect arises when a column in an RC frame building is restricted from the movement. So whenever we restrict its movement, then the short column effect will occur. Presence of unreinforced masonry infill. So as I said, there is an infill wall, then short column effect will occur. Condition arising from sloping ground, as we have seen that a sloping ground will have a short column effect because the some of the portion of the column will act as a shorter one as compared to the another one. Presence of mezzanine slab, like I said that in a stairs we are providing that slab or say landing, so that will act as a mezzanine beam or say mezzanine floor. So at that portion there will be a short column effect. Now which meets the column at the intermediate height between the usual beam slab system of the floor in RC building. As I said, the staircase. Presence of plain beam making the height of the column below is too shorter than the other column above one. So if the plain beam is provided, the bottom one will be having shorter size, then that will act as a shorter column, then short column effect will occur. Presence of staircase beam, slab or braces on the building. So this was all about the short column effect.